All right, everyone, in this example, I am going to show you how to multiply with complex numbers and then graph their results in the complex plane. So in our first example, I have 4i times -6 plus I. I know that the 4i is multiplying -6 plus I because it is in front of these parentheses, and those parentheses are kind of isolating the -6 plus I expression away from the 4i. Therefore, my first step is going to be to distribute. So when I do that, what that looks like is 4i times -6 plus 4i times I. That is what I'm doing with distribution, is giving that term, the first initial term, in multiplication to all the terms inside the parentheses. So when I do that, pretty straightforward, 4i times -6 will be -24i, and then 4i times I is going to be 4i to the second power. And then what I want to do here is remember that I to the second power is equal to -1. So I will be keeping my -24i, but I will be multiplying my +4 times -1. When I do that, I get -4. So I have -24i minus 4. And then I need to write this in standard form. The imaginary number needs to be in the second term and the real number needs to be in the first term. So I'm just going to switch the -4 and the -24i. Need to be careful to do this with signs. If that was a +4, I would end up with 4 minus 24i. Make sure you are following the signs and keeping them stable. Otherwise, you can't rewrite it. So now I have that as my final answer, -4 minus 24i. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph that. So I will have -4 minus 24i. Again, I can do a lot of stuff with zooming, but probably my preferred method of doing this is remembering that the first term is going to be my real number. I know that's -4, and you can see when I type it in the correct position of A, it brings my real number over to the -4, the negative side of the real axis, and then I have -24i, so -24, and I can see that gets graphed simply for me, straightforward, and then I can change the zoom so that I can see it, and what you do to the zoom will impact how I see it, so I do recommend that you zoom the graph so that the graphing is visible. That's just going to make things easier for all of us. Then I copy that link and I paste it underneath my response. In your practice problems, you'll be able to do that. There will be a place to paste your link, so you would paste it where it says to paste it. So now my second problem here, I have 9 minus 2i times -4 plus 7i. So notice I have a binomial, two numbers in this expression, or two terms in the first expression, times another binomial, two terms in the second expression. So we're going to have to go back to an old skill that we've used here of double distribution, or FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. So all I'm really doing is separating out the first term, 9, and doing what I did in the first example, multiplying it to both of the second terms. And then I will do the same thing with the -2i to both of the terms in the second expression. So 9 is going to multiply -4. It's also going to multiply 7i. Notice that I'm just using this with addition. I'm going with the sign of the term. And then with the -2i, I'm going to indicate -2i times -4, and then -2i again times +7i. Now my next step will be to then simplify these terms. So 9 times -4 is -36. 9 times 7i is 63i. -2 times -2i times -4i, that first is going to be positive. 2 times 4 is 8, and then I have I, so plus 8i. And then -2i times +7i, I'll have a negative. 2 times 7 is 14. I times I is I to the second power. So then on this next level, I want to combine the like terms of 63i and 8i, which will then give me 71i. So I have -36 plus 63i, 71i minus 14i to the second. I then also know that 14i to the second, the I to the second I can replace with -1. So I have negative 36 plus 71i minus 14 times -1. I know that negative 14 times -1 is going to be positive 14. So I have negative 36 plus 71i plus 14. I'm going to combine the like terms. Negative 36 plus 14 will give me negative 22. Negative 22 plus 71i. And this is going to be what I need to graph. And now you can see why I want to use my typing, because if I don't, it's going to be really hard to manually graph this. So I want negative 22 as my real number component and 71i as my imaginary number component. So in the A section, I'm going to negative 22 and I want positive 71. So I'm making that positive and I'm typing in 71, and I can see again that my graph works, and you can see I'm just zooming in on the imaginary axis, which lets me see the whole thing without shrinking everything down too much. I will then take a share of this graph, copy it, and paste it in the appropriate section. Again, on your assignment, you will have a space specifically to paste your link to your graph. And that's how you multiply. To our two examples for multiplying with complex